In today's video, I'm going to take you through some workflow errors you might see in Dubsado and what they mean and how you can fix it. If we haven't met, I'm Emma. I'm a certified Dubsado specialist, and I help service-based business owners streamline their client experience with Dubsado so that they can save time and everything feels easier to run in their business. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm in a test project. I've applied a workflow, and you can see I have this error: cannot read properties of undefined reading replace. So one of the things about Dubsado workflows is that the errors are code-like. They don't really make sense. So I've had to Google a lot of these to figure out what they are trying to tell me. And I will say that for the most part, most of the errors that you're going to see in Dubsado have to do with email connection. So in this project specifically, there is no email. This is Dubsado 2.0, so it does not force you to add an email to a client project. 3.0 has fixed that issue, thankfully. But because there is no email, it's like, yeah, I can't send this anywhere. So in this case, you would just open the client file, add the email, and then just retry. First, you would unpause and then try again, okay? Other types of errors that you're going to see in Dubsado also have to do with email connection. If there is a client email on file, the other thing that you're going to do is go to your settings and basically check and see what's going on here with emails. If there are any issues over here, if you have not used Dubsado in some time, maybe your email needs to be synced again, the next thing that you can do is just delete your email account and add it again. That a lot of times fixes the issues. So I'm going to list some of the errors that you might see that have to do with email connection. So it says invalid header or authorization failed or invalid _ grant. That has to do with your email connection. So in that case, you're going to delete your email, add it again. Insufficient permissions. So that might have to do with the fact that when you connected your email account to Dubsado, it asked you to check a bunch of boxes, like if you're connecting your Gmail email. If you didn't check all of those boxes, you might not have enough permissions to do what you need to. So delete, add again, and make sure that you check off all of those boxes. Another issue that you might see is too late to send action. So basically, this step in the workflow wanted to send something 120 days before the project date. So I put the project date as March 2nd, and you can see that it's too late, okay? So the way to fix that is basically you can edit, and you can set a fixed date of today, something like that, say like 2 p.m. of today, click apply, and then make sure that you unpause your workflow, right? Even though the error cleared, it was still paused. So always make sure that your workflow is active once you clear those issues. That's how you would fix a too late to send. A lot of times when I work with wedding planners, but the reality is this might apply to any business, I might create a workflow that has like an express timeline because someone books their wedding with the planner like very last minute. It's like 2 or 3 months before instead of like 12 or 18 months. So they need to have a workflow that they can apply manually in these cases for these compressed timelines. So that's something that you might consider if you're running into this type of error often. Another error that you might run into is this one that says form to watch for this action not found. So what that means, if you click edit, you can see that it says send form after form is not completed, and the form to watch hasn't been selected. So you're telling Dubsado which form to send, but you're not telling it which form to watch for. So in this case, you would have to select timeline questionnaire, and this actually should be like a few days after, and then click apply. And again, you need to activate it. So send the timeline questionnaire if they haven't completed the timeline questionnaire in 2 days. That's how you would fix that one. Another error you might see is invalid to header. And what that means is that the email that you've provided does not have the right format. So if you see here, it says email at email. It doesn't have a .com, so it cannot send the email. It's giving you an error. So all you have to do is fix the email format, click save and close, click pause to unpause the workflow, and then try again. Another error you might see is cannot read properties of undefined reading date. So what this means is that you used a payment plan email inside of a workflow. So anything to do with payment plan, those types of reminders, upcoming payment, due today, past due, those need to go in the payment plan, which go under the invoice. They do not go under the workflow. You can send an invoice through a workflow, but you cannot send a payment reminder email that uses these types of smart fields from a workflow. Those go in invoices under payment plans, and whatever emails are associated to that payment plan can use those smart fields, okay? So in this case, the fix here is to completely remove that from your workflow. And again, make sure you activate your workflow. So that's basically it. I know I didn't cover every type of error. Like I said at the beginning of the video, most of the errors that you're going to find inside of Dubsado workflows have to do with email. Email not being there, email formatting, email connection. So look at those three first. I have a blog post on this where I've taken snapshots and listed more errors and added those. If there's something that you run into that you don't see, put it in the comments. I'm curious. I can try to figure out what it is and list it in the blog post as well. So I hope that was helpful. If you need help setting up workflows in Dubsado, you want to automate your client process as much as possible to save time, I can help you with a Dubsado setup. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to book a discovery call on my website so we can see if we're a good fit to work together. I'll see you next time.